I was about to drop my phone. So I'm back at the poolside. Y'all need to come in? I saw y'all there. I thought y'all were waiting for your parent or something. Watch it. Y'all got permission to come here? Okay. So I wanted to talk about self-love a little bit. Although I'm not getting in the pool now. I have the hot and the sun it's like starting to go down. So the pool's not completely empty and the kids wanted to come in, so I had to let them in. Look at me, look at me. Oh, I want to talk about this book. I had a previous beautiful young lady named Cassie who suggested this book that I worked with before she went to out of state, and she was a wonderful human being, beautiful person. And it was called Real Love, Mindful Connections. And I think she said it talks about the art of mindful connection. Sharon Salzberg. It was more about like mindful connections and love of self. Let me see if this holds up here. Self-love, things like that. So I wanted to look at the index in the chapters and see if it has anything to do with, or anything that'll help us out with the self-love thing, because I rewatched the video earlier and I want to talk about self-love, because you know, if you don't love yourself, or you know what God has created in you or even in others, how can you love anyone else? You know, you can't honestly love anyone else until you love yourself fully. So when se metieron porque se metieron, they asked me to come in. Me pidieron que abre la fensa. I specifically asked them if they had permission. They had permission. Meditations, real happiness at work. Meditations for accomplishment, achievement, and peace. You know, Puerto Rican mom was about to get in their tail, talking about they didn't have permission to get in the pool. So you know, I had to just try to defend them a little bit. Real happiness at work. Meditations for accomplishment, achievement, and peace. The Kindness Handbook, a practical companion. Love your enemies, how to break the anger habit and be a whole lot happier. Real happiness, the power of meditation. The Force of Kindness, change your life with love and compassion. Loving kindness, the revolutionary art of happiness. Faith, trusting your own deepest experience. Insight, meditation, step-by-step course on how to meditate. A heart as wide as the world. So what's pointing out to me, what was jumping out to me in this situation here, or in this index, is the Force of Kindness, change your life with love and compassion, and a heart as wide as the world. So let me check it out. The Force of Kindness. See, I thought it was, let me read some stuff. So in order to reach, we'll skim through the little subheadings. In order to reach, looking for love. The stories we tell ourselves, the stories we tell others, stories others tell us, welcoming our emotions, meeting the inner critic. Oh my God, our critic. Ourselves are our worst critics. Letting go of perfection, becoming embodied, moving beyond shame, taking a stand up on happiness, following your ethical compass, love as a verb, barriers to finding real love, cultivate curiosity and awe, authentic communication, playing fair, a win-win proposition, navigate the space between letting go, healing, not victory. The heart is a generous muscle, forgiveness and reconciliation, priming the pump, challenging our assumptions, love everybody, creating community, from anger to love, say yes to life. So I guess it takes self-love to a whole nother level, as I've mentioned, different areas. I mean, everything on this, like looking for love, section 1, beyond the cliches, meeting our inner critic, letting go of perfection, letting go of perfection. 65. I was already on. So when I opened that, I said, let me read some subheadings because I saw the word reflection, which is something that you need to take in and actually practice about yourself. So it says, next time your inner critic start on you, take a step back and inquire, does your critic have a voice or a face? Whose? What happens if you think your critic is worrying about you, but you say you're just fine for now? Is your critique keeping you from trying something you might enjoy? Remembering your goodness. I think earlier I said, remember everything that God made great. Like, God created you, so remembering those things. If you find yourself ruminating on the things that you regret and mistakes you've made, try this exercise. It will help you redirect your attention and remember goodness within. So they say beauty is within, or beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The point is not to deny your mistakes, but if you keep rehearsing them, analyzing them, creating stories around them, you're simply reinforcing the pain and alienation they've already caused you. When you recognize and reflect on even one good thing about yourself, you're building a bridge to a place of kindness and caring. Standing in that place increases your ability to look honestly and directly at whatever is difficult and gives you the energy and courage to move forward. Sit comfortably in a relaxed, easy posture. Close your eyes. Now bring your mind to one thing you have done or said recently that you feel was kind or good. So every day I do something kind. And earlier I mentioned making coffee for my mom and things like that. Just kindly open the door for the kids and then ask them if they ask for permission to actually be here, and they say yes, which, I gotta be mindful. They were kids, everybody lies. So I could have focused on that, or on mistakes, stories around them, reinforcing alienation cause. When you recognize and reflect on one good thing about yourself. So earlier I recognized a good thing about me, about how I share my story or how I help others and give a lot of my time. You are building a bridge to a place of kindness and caring. So focusing on the good basically instead of the bad, because I could have focused on I always talk about my neck because it's all chubby and stuff. And then I realized when my dad passed that I had his neck. My granddaughters have his neck. My sister has his neck. My daughter, my granddaughters. So I'll be like, every time, this is a good example. Every time I feel insecure about my neck, I just keep saying, it's an honor to my daddy. It's an honor to my daddy. This is the Taurus side of me, right here, this neck. Earlier, you could really see it in the video, but I gotta take it and embrace it because it's a part of my father. Throat chakra, communication. Put that there. Okay. I should have been organized and picked out something better out of the book to talk about. If you find yourself caught up in self-criticism, turn your attention to mere fact that you have an urge toward happiness. There is kindness and beauty in that. Or simply recall all things being everywhere you want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. So I know in other videos I talked about affirmations, so I'm going to start adding, my neck is getting slimmer, my waist is getting smaller, like I talked about earlier about imperfections, and God made me exactly how I am right now for a reason. So although, I feel insecure about this sometimes, moving forward and focusing on a positive about myself, like I communicate very well. I am a beautiful person inside and out. Or this is just like my daddy. My daddy has passed on. I have to be proud of it. Let me embrace it. Things like that. Letting go of perfection. If you don't love yourself, that's just weird. Calissa Grace Parrott, age 6. She's 6 and she said that. How do we relate to perfection? With caution. We tend to handle things we think as perfect with reluctance, gingerly keeping your distance. Perfection is fragile. Interacting with something that seems perfect puts it in peril. Think of arrangement of flowers in a vase. As soon as they were cut, the flowers started to wilt, or slice into a perfect cherry pie from the hot oven, and watch the lattice crust crumble. Then you take the first bite and it's perfect. 3 bites later, its sweetness may already have started to coy. Moment by moment, perfect passes into imperfect. This is why clinging to our ideas of perfection isolates us from life and is a barrier to real love for ourselves. Perfection is a brittle state that generates a lot of anxiety because achieving and maintaining unwavering standards. Whether they're internal or external, means we're always under threat. We become focused on avoiding failure, and love for the self cannot be a refuge because it has become too conditional, too dependent to performance. Okay, it is not perfect, but the imperfect we have need of love. Who have need of love, and that means every last one of us. Living ourselves calls us to give up the illusion that we cannot control everything and instead focuses on building our inner resource of resilience. Finding love for myself is letting go of the need to find the culprit for something that's wrong in myself and with others. Constantly assessing things in terms of success and failure means that someone must be at fault. We have to learn to change the channel from negative to positive, moving from a stifling and fundamentally noisy state of mind to one that is more expansive and forgiving. Okay, that makes sense. So, like I said, God made us imperfect, perfectly imperfect. No one else can be like you, right? Even when I'm gonna put it out there, even when my right eye, I was born with more nerves on this side. I was born a preemie. For whatever reasons, we'll get into that later about development in the womb and taking care of yourself as a woman so that your child can be fully developed. So I was born with more nerve ending on this side, and then when I was like in kindergarten, the doctors would put a patch on my eye, and I did not want to be called like pirate eyes or anything like that, like with a patch. And it was supposed to strengthen a patch on my good eye, and I could barely see. I have now. It was supposed to strengthen it, but I would take it off because I didn't want to be called pirate in school. Okay, so with that being said, that is why from time to time, maybe I call it the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, my eye will go to the side, and it'll be hard to keep focus. So, I mean, you can probably see it. It's this one. So that's imperfection. That's something I've always dealt with. And let me tell you a funny story about that. The funny story is, all these years I'm parenting, I completely don't notice it because I'm not looking in the mirror 24/7. And this is to talk about imperfections and how I learned how to embrace it. You know what I mean? It's imperfectly me. If you're getting confused on which way am I looking, just use my left eye. You're right when you're looking at me, and then you'll know. So let me get back to the story. So as I was raising my daughter, whenever it was time to discipline or something, I would tell her, look me in the eye. Look me in the eyes. Look at me. And she would look away, and I thought she was trying to be disrespectful. So as she got older, she told me, Mom, no disrespect, but I really want to tell you something. I have something to confess. I was like, oh, she about to break it down. I've been waiting all these years. And I thought it was going to talk about, like, pregnancy tests I found when she was, like, 15. And so, things like that. But no, here she comes talking about, Mom, dude, let me help you understand why I couldn't take you seriously. I would try not to laugh in your face. So she would look away, trying not to laugh in my face. When I would be like, look at me, I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Look me in the face, look me in the eyes. I started laughing in the middle of her sentence. And she was like in college at this time, 18. 17, 18, between 17 and 18. And she was like, Mom, I couldn't take you seriously because your eye will be cross-eye or cock-eye or whatever they want to call it, right? Your eye will be on this, sideways, and you would tell me to look at you in the eyes, and instead of laughing, I'd look away because I knew that I would just probably get popped if I laughed while you were talking, or I just didn't have the courage to tell you that. So I was just cracking up, and I apologized to her Because now I understood why she wouldn't look at me. And I'm like, baby, you need to understand that I don't look at myself all the time, so I don't know when it's happening. Now as I've gotten older, I'm 38 now. As I've gotten older, I'm able to recognize like my physical state of mind. When I feel like I'm starting to get tired, you'll know I'm tired, or because of the eye. Um, so I've learned to embrace it. Gives another meaning to third eye, which is supposed to be here. Sometimes I can focus it, sometimes I can't. But now I think I checked 2 years ago when I was in Connecticut, and I have negative, like 589 vision in my right eye. So when I was younger, they told me that I would be blind. I had to learn Braille. But to God be the glory, I'm still standing. So I look at it and I embrace it because I can drive, I can function, I can see. Partially, most of the time. I got 20/20 on this one. So you embrace your imperfections, perfectly imperfect, made in God's image. So if God did not want me to be this way, He would not made me this way. And now I understand why there were certain things my daughter couldn't take. She couldn't take me seriously in certain ways because of this situation here. I'm sure there's much more, but I was talking about self-love and learning to let go of certain mindsets or certain things you don't like about yourself and embracing it, like my neck. And no matter how much weight I lose, my neck always looks like that. The boobs are always going to be enormous, no matter how much weight I lose. So, or my eyes just don't be like that because I've always told myself that I would never get plastic surgery or surgeries to alter what God has made. When I had my daughter, we had that Husky medical care where you can really get everything you need as far as your medical needs covered for the most part as a single parent when you qualify for that. And thinking back, I've had friends who actually have done like breast reductions and things like that because it does hurt your back. It does create discomfort. But I always told myself and I always told my people as they tried to convince me from time to time that I would continue being just as God made me, no matter what. Cross-eyed, big boob, no ass at all. That's what they say I have. You just formed the way God made you, and I'm beautiful in my own essence. I love my hair. I love the shape of my eyes. I love my bottom lip. Even this little funky little tooth right here that sticks out. There are reasons for it all. They all make me G. And I've learned to love myself just as I am. Of course, I know, and I just told my friend today, fat will shed. I look a little chubby having the time, but it will shed. Fat can be shed with just a little bit of focus, a little bit of practice, more exercising, more walking. I remember I had lost a good 30 pounds when I was in Connecticut because I would put my car in park mode, take the bus to work on an hour ride on the bus and then an hour and a half walk to and from work 3 or 4 times a week or 3 times a week. And I had a vehicle, you know what I mean? Just to be able to exercise. And then I went through this like health wave where I didn't eat no red meat or no pork, so no ham, no nothing. And I focused really on my physical health. And I lost like 30 pounds just walking. I would go on these beautiful hikes in Connecticut, which I'll find more in North Carolina, but I only found one place that was close enough to do so because I have certain limitations. With that being said, fat can be shed if you focus. That is not my focus. My focus right now, after I did my schooling from 2011 to 2016, my focus was just mental health, trying to solidify a degree, which would create financial stability, get me out of the rut that I was, surviving off the government at one point in my life. And as I keep the channel going, I'll elaborate more and more about what I'm speaking about. It's not just jibber jabber. And then from 2016 to 2018, I was focused on my emotional health. Like I felt like I needed to focus on love and having like a connection with someone as far as relationships. And I had that completely wrong because so 2016 to 2017. Well, I started dating this one guy after being single for 15 years. I broke up. Me and my baby father agreed to stop trying again since I say like 2004, 2005. And so that's when we really just stopped trying. And then I think we broke up in 1999. So I was single technically, even though we were trying. We weren't technically together, you know. I was single from 99 to, I don't know, like 2013, maybe 2012, 2013, 2014, around that. So if we talk about 99 to 2009, that's 10 years. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2014, I got into like an official relationship after talking to somebody for 10 months. That was that abusive relationship I was talking to you about. After 10 months of just not being official, we made it official. And in 2014. So we were already rocking with each other a lot, you know. Um, and then, so that's when I focused on the emotional well-being. And then from 2009, I had an epiphany, right, about life, you know, in itself, about life itself. I had an epiphany, and I started focusing on my spiritual and emotional health. And then I just completely lost focus on the physical part about it, physical health, because I think my physical health started 09 when I had the epiphany to like, no, no, 2011, the year I started school. 2011 to 2016 for 5 years. And then, so I did like 2-3 years of physical health, then emotional health, and I worked on love. And then that didn't work out. So now, since 2017, although I had epiphany in 2009, I wasn't walking the walk like I talk the talk. So I was slowly becoming and manifesting what I wanted for my life, slowly learning the words, slowly making a plan for myself and stuff. And then this 2017 is when I really got serious after this relationship, March 2017, after I was like, hold on. I tried the physical thing and it was a beautiful thing, but I always kept falling off. I had an epiphany 2009, really started focusing on my spiritual health. You know, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. So I tried the physical, I tried the spiritual, I tried the emotional health, but I kept forgetting to put God first. And it's like I didn't know how to go about it. And it's not forgetting, just I'd say ignorance, not knowing to put God first. So this time around on my journey in 2017, I switched it up and I only latched on to God first. You know, I put God first in everything I did. And now I'm becoming the person I've always known I was on the inside. And I'm slowly beginning to see her on the outside. When I look in the mirror, I don't completely act like I don't know who I am. You know, I am slowly recognizing myself in the mirror because there are certain features, like my eyebrows be a little lopsided. You know, I be trying to blend. Sometimes I got hair, but I just be trying because the tails didn't grow for a long time. So I'm slowly developing who I always knew I was going to be. This is like a little faded red. I'll switch it up all the time. You know, so although now I'm working on my spiritual health, I think it's the way to go about it is now get back to the physical. Okay, always putting God first. Everything else is going to line up. I've already felt that I have learned how to love myself as I am right now because I know that other things could be worked on. And now I'm starting to learn in the past, I'd say month or two, I'm starting to learn that I can work on myself and not have to be perfect when I finally find my husband. I feel I already met my husband. Honestly. My friend. I feel like I've already met him because I just knew. The minute I met him, I just knew he could have took advantage of my vulnerability and he didn't. He directed me towards God. He's like that guy in the airport that be telling, I don't even know what the person is called, that be flagging the person. They have like neon jackets and flags talking about for the plane to go this way, the plane go this way. Well, he was doing that with God when I lost my daddy in 2017. So living a life of celibacy since November 2017. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Applaud your progresses. Because I used to be controlled by that lust. Oh, oh, read. When I put the book out, y'all gonna read that chapter in the book. Y'all be like, girl, you're crazy. You're crazy. And that's just life without God. And the only reason why I'm gonna talk about it is because it was life without God. Bitterness, not loving yourself. Topic here, love yourself. So love yourself enough to put God first at the forefront of everything you do. Learn to love one thing. Like the reason how I'm gonna tell y'all my secret. Shh, it's not gonna be a secret after today. What I do when I meet people, whether online or whatever, I focus on one thing or one attribute, so one characteristic I like about them. Personality or physical attribute. I focus on one thing that I like about them. Like this one person, the one I think it's my husband. Like the perfect white teeth and a hunka munka chunka smile. Love it. Drives me nuts. Nothing else on this guy's, as far as this guy's physical appearance, that I can say is like, oh, attractive. I've never been the type to go for the hunks that can capture other people's attention. I normally like the mysterious man that's quiet. Or I don't like the ones that act like they got too much high maintenance. They're too high maintenance. You can tell the ones that be having their eyebrows there looking better than you and stuff. Yeah, I'd be like, that's too high maintenance for me. I can't do it. But anyways, my secret is focusing on one trait or attribute or characteristic that I like about the person, and that's how I say, wow, God made this person so nice. Like this person has the perfect smile. This person has perfect teeth. This person has perfect complexion. Oh, look at her eyebrows or look at her hair. Like I will focus on one thing at least, and then I'll make that like my focus as far as the person individually, like physically, that I look at them. And then I'm like, wow, God made them with this. And then that opens the door for more things, more good attributes to follow through. Now, the one that I said that I met that I think he's my husband. I'm still praying about it. He has a beautiful soul and has this passion for the Lord that is out of this world. I have never seen it. However, I'm still trying to study him as far as does he walk it like he took it, or does he walk it like he took it? I still study that part. But it takes time to know people and to build friendships. And what I've always rushed into situations, never really built a good friendship with somebody. I either kept them in the friend zone or, just only allow people in certain parts of my life. I never let them in completely. As far as like the male gender comes in. Also, I didn't love myself completely, so that's why I had set these little limitations for myself. So I'm sure that there were people in my past that probably could have been something in my life as far as like husband material or long lasting, but I never gave them the opportunity because I didn't love myself or because I wasn't at this point in my journey. So for those that have had time to share with me intimate moments and things like that, I love you guys. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be here. As far as I've come, as far as understanding who I am or when I was better and things like that, thank you guys. And you guys know who you are. Anyone from 2006 to 2011 knows who you are, who I interacted with in different ways, how I set limitations. Please forgive me. I just wasn't trying to get emotionally caught up because I was so hurt before. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. God knows He has forgiven me. Um, but I am well aware of everyone's purpose in my life. But I do think of my husband. But you know how many times I done thought that? We shall see. We shall see. And if I keep this up, then you will see, I guess, as the years go on, who I end up with. And I'll be very honest about if it was the person I thought it was. Because I thought it was a few people. Although I never was the type growing up to fantasize about a wedding, plan a wedding. I never even saw myself in a wedding dress. White, me, come on. I've always been a tomboy. And growing up, I went through my little stages where I just wear makeup and stuff like that and be a little too prissy. So I was never like in the middle. It was always completely climbing trees or wanting glamorous things, trying to be all glamorousy. Um, there was never any in betweens. But my growth is a beautiful thing, and it started with self love, and I could not find that completely. Yes, Birdie, you want my attention? Beautiful, 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 beautiful area. Um, where was I? I'm gonna watch my video again and be like, girl, you always losing your thought. I was a premature baby. Let me get that excuse. um, so the progress is real. I've definitely been through a lot, and it's so sad that I forgot where I was going with this. Dang bird distracts me. ADHD, never been diagnosed, but I'm sure there's something there. Um, I'll remember later when I'm not recording anymore. Self-love starts with God. If it wasn't for all of my experiences and putting God first, I would never come to the point where I accept myself. I'm about, it's way between 188, 192, 191 pounds. I'm only 5'2". I am not the model. Far from that. I have triple D chest, boobage, 40 something inches. It is hard to shop. A whole nother topic. Um, Short, wide, and I just feel like I've embraced how beautiful I am on the inside. I've embraced my physical appearance. I feel like this nose right here, this is the lioness. This right here is the lioness. This is the lioness nose. Rawr. I'm a woman, hear me roar. Rawr. Okay? Um, and at this point I'm babbling. I wanna keep going through my books. And what I've read, I haven't really thoroughly read this book. This is the last book I stopped at, and then I went back to the Bible because of that Judges book was really getting to me, and I had to go back. I had to go back and go back. So I stopped reading this one. But if anyone's interested or looking for a suggestion, make sure you check it out. Start where you are, letting go as love, from anger to love, tearing down the walls, recalibrating how we respond. We talked about that earlier, huh? Fishing. Challenging our assumptions. Between parents and children, I would assume that's how it affects and shapes our views as individuals as we get older. Letting go of assumptions of who we thought we were, who we are, letting go of every critique someone has given us and made us believe to be, learning to embrace, to love who you are and who you become. It's a beautiful thing. Embrace that chub, girl. Embrace the roles, embrace everything that can be burnt off. Okay, ugly on the inside cannot go away. A girl can be a model and have a crappy attitude, and it's just what's on the inside that counts, and not every man is mature enough to embrace that. So learn to love yourself and know that God loves you just as you are, beautiful individual that you are. He loves you. He made you imperfectly perfect. You are worthy of all the love you think you are worthy of. You deserve happiness, and love yourself and set the standard for how you want people to treat you by how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is the example that people will have to treat you. You know, in the past, and I'm one to talk. In the past, I've allowed people to do certain things, or expect certain things of me that I won't normally do for anyone. But I'll go above and beyond, helping other people handle those things, or or do things for people that I wouldn't even do for certain people. And I've learned that I've enabled some individuals, and I've set the standard for how people will treat me. So right now, I will not expect anything less than I deserve, even with my eye, even with my behind situation. No, asa tall is what they call it. In certain clothes I wear, look alright from different angles. All about the angles. The big boobage. I've learned to embrace it all. It makes me who I am. I am individually G. It's a G Tang is what I'm going to label the book, although I might change it. But that chapter from 2000, what did I say, 2005, 2006 to 2011, that's going to be called It's a G Tang, because that was a Issa G Tang, Lady G, full embraced. But all of that I am not ashamed of, because it made me who I am. It taught me what I do not want to be like. I've partied enough in those 5 years for a lifetime. I want to party in different ways. I want to do different things. I don't find it intriguing to get inebriated. I don't get excited like I did in my 20s to go out with friends and get inebriated like I used to. I've learned to love myself and embrace myself, and I feel like going to put my bathing suit on because the pool, no one's here. I think I'm gonna go swimming again, and it's safe because it's nice and warm still, and the sun is down, so I don't have to wear the hot. You guys have kept me company today. I appreciate you. And to the Ghetto Nun, if you ever watch these cock frogs, I love you, girl. I love your personality. You are amazing, and I am not trying to steal your stuff. It just so happens it comes out like caca every time I'm doing these YouTubes. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Love it. Love you. Keep doing you, boo boo. That is awesome. Divine Feminine, you are the bomb. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Ghetto Nun, Cock Frost. Love, subscribe, share. She is awesome. She is genuine. She is just her. No one else can replicate it. Forgive me, but it just came out that way, and that's my way. I pay homage to you. And it also shows that I love your channel. Like, ever since I started watching your channel, Miss Ghetto Nun Cock Frost. Yes, I'm talking her up. I love her. Ever since I started watching her channel, I do not like watching TV. She is all the drama, the soap opera I need. I'm like all into this divine feminine, divine masculine stuff. Love it when she's like, that divine stepped in and helped you. He's always with you. Like, I love you. Like, seriously, never met you. Love you. Like, starstruck. And I think I've only saw your face like twice. Your nails be on point. You are popping. Not that you need an ego stroke, because I know you don't need an ego stroke, but I love you. So please excuse me every time I say like, share with your friends, subscribe, because I just find it so popping. I love you. And then back to what I was saying. Love yourself. I couldn't love her if I didn't love myself. Love yourselves. It's okay. Embrace what God has given you, the gifts. Embrace that He loves you. He's made you imperfectly the way He has, because can't nobody else be you. Can't nobody else bring anything to this world like you can. Can't nobody else be you. See, I can't even say it like cockroach. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. She got this thing, and it's just so on point. Oh, I love her, love her, love her. So I think I am going to go back, get my bathing suit, and take a couple laps in this beautiful pool that I have all to myself. Love you guys. Love you guys. Hold on, let me put my book down so I can send some kisses to y'all. Oh, hear the crickets. And you know what I must say about this eye thing? Janet Jackson had a lazy eye, and she was the bomb. Just saying. Love you guys. Good night.